some news reported from Delhi's Connaught Place. Fire in the Gopal Das building in Connaught Place, Delhi. 16 fire tenders have been pressed into action. These are images coming in of Gopal Das building in Connaught Place that's caught fire. In fact, these images there showing how the fire is broken out in that commercial building at Delhi's Connaught Place. 15 fire tenders that have now been pressed into action. A high-rise building in Delhi's Connaught Place. The fire call was received at around 1 p.m. We hear reports indicating that the blaze has erupted on the 11th floor of Gopal Das building. Details regarding any injuries or any kind of casualties is awaited. It's yet to be ascertained. We have no information on any kind of injuries or fatalities. But authorities have for now cordoned off the entire area, urging people to maintain safe distance to facilitate the fire tenders from making their efforts. As we see, it's likely that the 11th floor of the Gopal Das commercial building in Connaught Place has caught fire. And one should know this is not the first time. In 2016 too, the same building, the Gopal Das building in Connaught Place, had caught fire. There were no casualties at that point, though fire tenders quickly doused the flame that had erupted in the 16th floor. Now, the 11th floor, we hear that the fire has erupted in Gopal Das building, Connaught Place. 16 fire tenders now at the spot. Ashutosh joining us for more on that. Ashutosh, give us more details, please.
Fire triggered. In fact, at the moment, the fire has been under control. In these images, you see the fire. The firefighters are now trying to, totally control over. In fact, there was heavy smoke, but now it all seems to be.
Eventually, now the firefighters are trying to, to go inside and to find out exactly the place where the fire broke out, because this happens to be one of the high-rise commercial complex, iconic place in Connaught Place, and there you see these firefighters. In fact, a team has already gone inside on even 16th floor. 10th and 11th floor, there you see the firefighters are using a crane to see the situation, the monitor, and subsequently all attempts are being made by the firefighters. But so far there is no casualties and there is no reports of injury at the moment. It was a minor call. Essentially, where the place is located, they exactly have a fire station. So it was just quick by firefighters to respond to the call. Nearly 15 to 16 fire tenders are in the operation at the moment in Connaught Place, and all efforts are being done to control the fire ASAP.
Well, Ashutosh, a little more on which floor is it again, and any word on the injuries? If some clarity on the situation at the moment. We know 16 fire tenders are in place, and it's a commercial building, also a working day today. We're sure the building must have been packed with employees, and do give us more clarity on the restrictions that have now been put in place by authorities.
Well, the commercial complex has the fire alarm itself. So immediately when the fire call was heard, the officers, particularly the 10th and 11th floor, were evacuated, and immediately because of the fire call, many noticed the smoke coming out. So in fact, entire building was evacuated in a very quick time. In fact, less than 5 minutes, the entire building was evacuated. In fact, many of the top floors, most of these floors which are totally occupied are 10th, 11th, 15th, and below than that. There are commercial banking complex, there are financial institutions, there are several other institutions. But immediately when this broke out, the people were immediately with the alarm evacuated. The fire tenders rushed in less than 5 minutes. So because of the people, those who are alert, and there are indicated passage for safe evacuation, there is no casualty, there is no injury either to any of these workers who are working inside the building. In fact, these firefighters are now trying to control even the smoke which could be on the 10th and 11th floor. But for now, that dense smoke that we see erupting out of the building has now been totally controlled by the firefighters.
All right, Ashutosh, thanks. I'm going to cut across to Aishwarya, who's right at the spot. Aishwarya, go on. Plumes of black smoke emanating from that Gopal Das commercial building in Connaught Place. It's a building where you have several employees. We understand that they've all been asked to evacuate, but any word on people being stuck or stranded, fatalities, etc.?
Under the control,
भाई कौन नहीं है
What you are seeing there at the moment.
Aishwarya's connection. Aishwarya, we're going to fix that audio for you just a moment, but those are the visuals Aishwarya brings for us as she shows us fire tenders who are currently in place. Gopal Das building, which is a popular one in Connaught Place. Earlier as well in 2016, fire had broken out. They managed to successfully douse it. This is the second time that we hear of likely the 11th floor that's now caught fire. Aishwarya, back to you.
Well, Nabila, you know, we are trying to move a little away from it, but we are getting you live visuals here on India Today with regards to the evacuation process that's taking place. This is a huge building, a very busy place here. From what we are understanding, all the people in the building have now been asked to move out of the building. What you see is the live images of the firefighting that is now taking place. The 11th floor of this very iconic building, the Gopal Das building, we are now being evacuated. The police now, let me tell you, Nabila, is asking us to move a little away from the spot because they don't know what will take place. The firefighters are all here, close to 5 to 6 fire tenders on the spot. Work is going on, Nabila, as we are speaking.
All right, Aishwarya, thank you very much for joining us on that.